What's good, y'all? It's your boy Fiasco, and welcome back to the channel. And this is the start of my NR2003 offline series. This is the Fiasco NASCAR series. Now, if you guys have been around the NR2003 community, you know how this goes. Right now we have 19 cars in the field. We have plenty of spots left, so if you guys want to join, be sure to leave in the comment section down below the name and the number you want. I will have the numbers that are still available in the description. So if you guys still want a car, if you want to hop in, see what numbers are available, drop that name, and we'll get you in for the Daytona 500. Now, if you guys are new, basically you just sit back, relax. I do a little post commentary over the races. We see who wins. All cars are rated the same, so it's completely random who wins. Let's get it. We have a preseason race at Chicago, starting it off with 26 Christian Torres, 56 J Joy-Con Man Pagan, 5 Brian Cornboy Pagan, 22 Chris the Don J, 17 Sean Riguez, number 9 John Wigglestiff, number 13 Kyle Bunch, number 3 Adi Borges, number 78 Erik Lopez, Jason Asian Persuasion Sambon, number 10 Fernando Luna, number 2 Los Fiasco, number 11 Alex Nieto, number 23 Cameron Barrero, number 18 Caruso Cruzmaki, number 7 Jose Hernandez, number 33 Mr. Bob Ross, 34 Manny Banejas, and number 43 rounding out the field Dario Agent D Perales. So let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. We got a preseason race here at Chicago. This is basically so you guys can get a little bit of a taste of what to expect in the series. Right now we only have 19 cars, so it's not going to be quite as chaotic as it would be if we had a full 42 car field. But with your guys' support, we can fill that field, and this season will be absolute madness. Now we have the field coming off of turn 4. Number 26 Christian Torres about to lead them to the green flag. We have 27 laps to get done here and under the lights in Chicago. Green flag is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. We're going racing. And right when we come out of turn 2, we already have a wreck on the very first pair of turns in the race. We have the 18 of Cruzmaki turning the 23 of Cameron Barrero even after the fact of the initial wreck. And now we're going to look through here to see who exactly got in that wreck. We see the 25 of Jason Sambon. The number 78 of Erik Lopez was also involved. Chris the Don J is going to lead the field back to the line. He's going to lead the field when we get back to the restart. But we got to take a look at this replay to see what happened. We're going to check out this lap 1 replay. We see Erik Lopez up top. He comes down and hits the 25 of Jason Sambon. They get together and they slide up back into the wall. That almost collects the number 2 of Los Fiasco. So those two guys, they have a decent amount of damage on their cars. You see the number 11 of Alex Nieto barely missing the 25 there of Jason Sambon. Number 43 Dario Perales getting a bit of damage after hitting Jason. So we're going to hop on board here with Alex Nieto and see what happens from his point of view. It looks like the 2 car comes up on the 25 a bit, and that pitches him between the 78. And unfortunately, Jason and Erik were the 2 guys that got the most damage. So we're going to follow Los Fiasco here, see exactly what happened. He's coming up on a normal racing line, unaware that they're already going 3 wide coming out of turn 2. And that just causes that right there. And you see Cruzmaki turning to 23 of Cameron Barrero even after that initial wreck. And we're going to see what happened here. Cruzmaki just doesn't lift. He hits the back quarter panel of that 23 car, and that's going to send him spinning, giving him a decent amount of rear end damage. So now we have Chris the Don J in the number 22 about to bring the field back to the line. Around 22 laps to go, and green flag is back in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go racing. And we see Chris J getting a decent sized lead going into the middle of turn 1 and 2. Everybody behind him is too wide. You see Kyle Bunch and Christian Torres really side by side there. Close racing in lap 6. You see Kyle Bunch getting a little bit of an edge on the 26 of Christian Torres. Torres is really high into the turn right there. He's going to clip the wall coming out of 4, and they're 3 wide. They're running 3 wide, about 3 rows back. It's crazy how intense these guys are racing. We see Fiasco on the apron. We see Christian Torres riding up against that wall in turns 1 and 2. He's going to lose all his speed he had in the beginning of this race. That's going to send him way back to the back of the pack. So we're going to advance here to lap 9. We see John Wigglestiff trying to edge out Kyle Bunch in the middle of turns 3 and 4. And we have the 3 car clipping the 13 right there, but we also see the 7 bounce off of the wall, almost collecting Brian Pagan in the number 5 car. Luckily, everybody makes it through. So now we have John Wigglestiff trying to make a dive on Sean Rodriguez in that 17 car, but we have the 3 of Adi Borges really high into the wall. She bounces off, collects the 5 of Pagan, and Pagan, rest in peace, my boy. R.I.P. Hudson Hornet, Brian Pagan, and that number 5 car gets sent into the catch fence after getting destroyed, absolutely T-boned by that number 7 car. And we're gonna hit this yellow. We're gonna get a yellow flag right here. Kyle Bunch and Chris J racing to the line, and Chris J is going to beat him to it. He is going to be ahead at the next restart, just like the last one. So before we continue, we got to check out this replay and see exactly what happened from multiple points of view. We saw Brian Pagan go into the catch fence, so we're going to see exactly what happened here. So we see the number 3 bounce off of the wall, as we saw before. Comes down, hits Brian Pagan in the 5 car. The 7 absolutely has nowhere to go. T-bones the 5, sends him straight into the catch fence. That's a dangerous wreck, man. It could have been a lot worse. Brian Pagan was able to drive it off, but we're going to see it from Brian's point of view here. He's riding that middle line, and the 3 just comes down, unable to control her car. And then you see that 7 coming and just gets blasted. He's flipping side over side, but miraculously, that thing is still able to drive. I don't know how. But now we hop over to the number 7 car of Jose Hernandez. He was already riding the wall, so you know his motion, or wherever he's going to be able to go, was going to be limited. And he absolutely has nowhere to go when the number 5 of Brian Pagan comes back up the track. That's a dangerous wreck, man. Now we're going to hop on board with Manny Benejas in the number 34 car. Gets past the 5, but has nowhere to go when it comes to the 3 car. Totaled. Absolutely nothing you can do. Sucks. Man, that's just racing. That's how it goes. So now we're going to get back to the live feed. Chris, the Don J, has been leading and dominating for the majority of this race so far. We're going to get the green flag with 11 laps to go. You see Sean Rodriguez right below Kyle Bunch trying to make a move. They're pushing 3 wide coming out of 4 right there. And you know how dangerous it can be when you're pushing 3 wide coming out of a turn in Chicago. There are now 10 laps left. If these guys want to make a move to try to win this race, they need to do it now. There are 5 drivers who could potentially get the lead in this race right now. You see these guys running 3 wide back here. The 2 and the 56 get together, but they're able to keep it going. So we're going to advance a little bit. Lap 19. Sean Rodriguez is going to try to make the pass on Chris the Don J. They're side by side going down the backstretch. Sean Rodriguez is looking for an advantage, but it looks like Chris is going to get in front of him a little bit, and we have Fernando Luna on the inside of the 17. They're going to push 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Chris hits the wall, and Sean Rodriguez and Fernando Luna are now out front as Chris J loses all of his momentum coming out of 4. And now Bob Ross is in 3rd place in that 33 car. Rodriguez, Luna, and Ross are all in the running to win this race, but also the 3 cars behind them are still in that running to win the race. And we have 7 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hop on board with Fernando Luna trying to make the pass on the inside of Sean Rodriguez, and he does it as Rodriguez pushes too hard and he hits the wall, and Fernando now has a sizable lead with 6 laps to go. Fernando might have a sizable lead, but he cannot get comfortable because he has a pack of hungry wolves right behind him trying to chase him down, and they're not going to rest until they get him. Sean Rodriguez, you see Chris J and Los Fiasco, 2 Penske Racing teammates, both bouncing off of turn 4. They're going to lose a lot of ground and a few positions. And Chris the Don J, after leading for the majority of the middle of this race, it appears that he's lost his touch towards the end. And they're going 3 wide on the backstretch. Christian Torres in the 26 trying to get back into where he was before earlier in this race, but he might be getting a little too aggressive, and Chris J just absolutely losing it right now, just grinding up against the wall after dominating the majority of the race. He's just lost it. I don't know what's going on. And you see Sean Rodriguez pushing way too hard trying to catch Nando with 4 laps remaining, and he's going to lose a lot of positions right there. You see how much slower he's running compared to the rest of the field right here. Fernando is going to take this flag with 3 laps to go. Luna, Ross, and Kyle Bunch make your top 3 right now. We're going to hop on board with Bob Ross and see his chase to try and get Fernando Luna. You see the 13 of Kyle Bunch making the move on Bob Ross in the tri-oval, so we're going to hop on board of the 13 Geico Chevrolet. 2 laps remaining. He's trying to chase down Fernando Luna with anything he has left. And we're going to see the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. Fernando Luna is up front, and Kyle Bunch and Bob Ross are running side by side, and that's going to hurt their lap time. And I don't think either of them, after going side by side like that, is going to win this race. They're really fighting for second at this point. Fernando Luna has a decent sized lead going into turn 3 and coming out of turn 4. Kyle Busch is going to grind the wall. Bob Ross is going to get second. But most importantly, Fernando Luna is going to win the first ever race in the Fiasco NASCAR series. Congratulations to Fernando Luna winning the preseason race, and that's just a small taste of what you guys will be getting in the entire season. I'll drop details on the season and everything else once the Daytona 500 hits, because then we will have a full roster ready to go. I'll be able to determine the point system and everything like that. And here we have Fernando Luna about to do his burnout. If you guys did enjoy that video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you do want to join the league, follow the instructions I gave in the beginning of the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.
I've seen you struggle, there's not much that I can do about it. But give you insight, I would set my mind, you move around it. I've been in these shoes a couple times, but only halfway. You win, you lose, but most of you just feel like last place.